Hello everyone. Science Spot is a podcast that shines a spotlight on the latest scientific technology from Japan. Your host is Ram from Science Talk. Today we look at a revolutionary finding from Nagoya University regarding the evolution of the spinal cord. We all know that tetrapods, four-limbed animals including humans, have two distinct thickened areas in their spinal cord, cervical enlargement and the lumbar enlargement. These enlargements exist because controlling limbs requires a massive number of neurons to manage complex muscles and sharp skin sensation. For a long time, the consensus was that fish and snakes which lack limbs also lacked these spinal enlargement. It seems intuitive. No limbs, no need for the extra neural processing power. However, the researchers hypothesized that this view might be too simplistic. Fish have pectoral and pelvic fins, which are homologous to our arms and legs. These fins also perform complex, precise movements. The team wondered even if these spinal regions aren't visibly large to the naked eye, might the fin controlling areas still be thickened. Professor Naoyuki Yamamoto and his team at Nagoya University focused on the zebrafish. Their first scientific challenge was locating the existing spinal segment responsible for controlling all 5 types of fins. They used advanced techniques, including immunohistochemical staining and tissue clearing, which allowed them to clearly see the nerve pathways deep inside the fish body. After mapping the neural connections, they systematically created several tissue sections, very thin slices, along the entire length of the spinal cord. They then measured the physical area of the total spinal cord and crucially the gray matter. The gray matter is the center of the spinal cord where most nerve cell bodies are concentrated. The results were unexpected and highly significant. They found that the spinal cord area and the gray matter area showed multiple peaks, indicating the presence of spinal enlargements. Crucially, these enlargements precisely corresponded to the regions controlling the fins. The thickened areas were found to be most prominent just behind the start of the fin control regions, aligning with the biologically most important parts of the fin structure, which are stiffened by fin rays. But the biggest surprise was this. The spinal enlargements were present not only for the pectoral and pelvic fins, but also for all the impaired fins. Every single fin in the zebrafish had a corresponding thickened area in the spinal cord. This discovery fundamentally changes the definition of the spinal enlargement. It proves that the traditional view, spinal enlargements equals cervical plus lumbar enlargement, was merely a stereotype that didn't fully reflect the true nature of this structure. Instead, the original generalized condition in vertebrates, starting with fish, was to form enlargements corresponding to all fins. The evolutionary implication is profound. When vertebrates transitioned to land, only the paired fins developed into limbs for locomotion. Consequently, tetrapods lost the other fins and retained only the 2 remaining enlargements. The conclusion is that the familiar spinal enlargements in humans and other tetrapods are not unique limb structures, but rather remnant of a more generalized fin controlling system inherited from their fish ancestors. This is a truly groundbreaking insight into our own evolutionary history. That's all for today's Science Spot. This podcast is broadcast in both Japanese and English. I'd love for you to listen to the podcast and post your thoughts with the hashtag ScienceSpot. Thank you for listening and see you next time.